What is up, world? This is BakermanBrad, and I've got another first look for you. Today we'll be taking a look at a new twist on the gods versus the titans, and I have to choose the Olympus group because the titans were full, but we're looking at Legend of Edda Vengeance. It's got three classes, the warrior, rogue, and the mage, which as you get further, about to level 20, they actually branch out into mastery classes, so each one has a little bit of a twist once you get going, but for now, just the normal character selection screen here. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because it's pretty much your generic, choose your gender, choose your fighter class, then change between several pre-selected hairstyles, eyes, things like that, so I'm not going to spend too much time, and I'll actually cut back in once I get this person all picked up and jump back into the tutorial. Alright, well there she is, the fiery redhead. We're going to go ahead and start with the tutorial because as you saw there, I have another character, I was playing just a little bit, and I went for a solid, let's say hour and a half, and I have to tell you, the tutorial was the most action-packed part of the entire thing. And as you see here, you have a nice little cutscene, which, since I chose the Olympus, we have this person, which I first thought was going to be their interpretation of Zeus, but thankfully it is not. But as you see in a second, this Titan here is actually Gaia. We're going to wait for him. Wait for it. More once again. Yeah. See, that's Gaia. Not not what I would have seen Gaia ever looking like, but hey, that's not my game. Cool, it's a unique new look of things, so let's get into fighting for freedom and stuff. Epic eye-opening. Oh, never mind. And here we are. With the quest system, you have a rather simple little thing. You kind of have a menu pop up, and you scroll through the quest chat, which is not here yet, but once we get up to that statue over there, you'll see it. We're going to go through the basic tutorials. I'm not going to really tell you about it while I'm doing it because it's pretty much very simple, WASD, 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of thing. But the graphics of this is pretty nice, pretty simple, but at the same time, you have a lot of control over how you view it. You can either do an isometric, you can do third person, you can change it around, which you'll see in a second, but the game itself is not very complicated, so it makes it pretty easy for anyone to pick up the game and go. So if this is your style of game and you like the really cute and cuddly and fluffy, and there are pets and mounts and things like that, and there you go, to show you that you can change the view based on however you feel like scrolling them. The rocks are broken. Now we go on to the quest here. But be warned, the cuteness factor of this game could possibly make you puke rainbows. It would be pretty. It's sparkly. So this game is going to be, even the bad guys, anything that you fight in here, even the most demonic looking creature you could think of, is probably going to be rather cutesy. So fair warning, as I said, this game is definitely designed with that in mind. Now in the tutorial, you're going to learn a lot of the basics like how to assign skills and items and certain things like that, how to initiate combat, a lot of the basics you need for the game, which is pretty straightforward like most tutorials. Later in the game, you'll see that there's other things like crafting and customizing weapons and upgrading weapons, and then also the pet system. So you'll have a little bit more to do, but they're all very similar. That's why I decided to show you the tutorial rather than spend 4 hours trying to find where it is to even get the game. In a 4-hour video, you guys would hate me for that. I would hate myself for that. So let's not worry about it. But if you do want more information on that, leave some comments and maybe we'll go ahead and make another video showing you the crafting system and stuff like that. But for now, as you see in this little video here, I've got the first bad guy to kill, which this is going to show you the complexity of combat. There you go. Click and press and go. And that's about it. Now don't be deceived too much, this is just the very beginning of the game, and as you get farther in, you'll have to choose between certain skills, certain abilities, and the complexity of your timing and the importance of using the right ability at the right moment with the right skills included can go up, especially if you get later on into little party battles or quests that you have to use with several people. your timing is going to be very important. And so eventually the complexity of the game will pick up. So that's an exciting little piece. Yeah, right now it's going to be pretty simple, and so the amount of time that you'll see in this, and this guy, see, this is supposed to be the big bad guy, and I just don't feel intimidated. If anything, I kind of feel like it's trying to give me a hug or something. I don't know. But with that, that's the end of the tutorial, so I'm going to cut out and bring you back in when I make it back to the real world. So I'll see you in 2 seconds. Okay, so it may have been more like 3 seconds, but point is, here is the real world. So once you get started, you enter into this little town here, and your first quest is to talk to this guy to get a little quest which sends you to the guard at one of the gates, which is kind of, I've actually seen a lot of games that that's kind of the first quest. Go talk to the guard at the main gate. And that, okay. But anyways, real quick, I'm going to show you the little box I got from beating the tutorial, which you get only from doing the tutorial. And that is right, it's the bear suit. So let's get this all opened up. You gotta, some items you actually have to open, and then you have to identify. And so you do have these little scrolls that you can identify items. And then some items are wrapped, so to speak, so you have to actually open them, and then they have a time frame where they may actually expire. So this bear suit lasts a day. Yes, so it's only gonna last a day. Once we get everything put on, we got the bear hat, bear suit, bear legs, bare feet, bare hands, and a pot of honey. And wait, yeah, yeah, there we go. Okay, we got our honey pot now, and we officially have our teddy bear. There we go, got a pot of honey. What is this, Winnie the Pooh? You're gonna carry honey around with me? Yes. I have another little outfit thing here, but I'm not gonna use it right now because I've got this outfit. Who would want to change this? I mean, look at that. The honey's pot is pretty heavy, she's leaning back on it. So anyways, let's go ahead and zoom out of the world here and get to our first quest. Now, if you open the map, you can actually click on any part of it and it'll take you there without having to worry about it. So that's the one good thing with the quests being very go here, collect this, go back. You don't have to at least hold down the button the entire time or click and click and click and click. So that's a good little feature for you. You don't have to worry about getting too cramped up. Now, not every quest is going to have a lot of rewards to it. Some quests are basically there just to get you to another quest to actually do that quest. So keep in mind, it's going to be all of like, oh yeah, you get 10 gold or 20 gold, and that's it. For getting to another quest, it'll potentially give you a whole lot of loot. So some quests, like I said, aren't as exciting as you would imagine, but this quest right here is going to be our first action combat scene. And you go into the wilderness here, and wait, actually there's another quest to pick up. Yeah, so we can talk to this person, and you get to see where the animation has been emphasized with the outfit. So keep in mind that it is cutesy, but there are still some boobs. And speaking of cutesy, here is our first villain, the palm, the terrifying palm, so cute it might make you die. Or wait, no, it's so fluffy I'm gonna die? Yeah, that's about it. That's correct. Fluffy, I'm gonna die. So right now this quest is showing you, the first one is kill a certain amount of bad guys. And as you get farther in the game, there's gonna be larger numbers, unless of course you're having to kill some, you know, one really big boss kind of guy. And then you'll have to, you know, kill one, but it's gonna take you half an hour. Maybe, I don't know, it could take less. But the point is that some of your quests are just collect items or kill certain creatures to drop certain items. And as you see, each time I kill a creature, I get one of the items that I had to pick up. So luckily, there's not a chance of them dropping it. So it's not going to be as difficult to collect the items that you need. You go and you kill the creature that has the item, and bam, you got the item. Now, if you notice, all of the other palms are watching me slaughter their fluffy kin, but they're not attacking me. If I were to go and attack one of them, however, and then go attack another palm, then both of those palms will start to attack me. Another thing I'd like to mention is actually you can see me switching between weapon sets. which is a cool little thing. Each character has 2 different weapons you can choose, and for the warrior, it's a sword and shield and a 2-handed sword. And you can switch between which weapon you're using by pressing Z or changing the hotkey, but in battle you can change between abilities, so you can have all the abilities for one weapon set or both. So don't get hung up on just learning one weapon set's skills and abilities, because then you'd be kind of losing out on all the potential you'd have in the game. And so I'll show you more about the skills later, but for now, let's go ahead and kill this one last palm, and then we'll go on back to our map. Actually, no, I already killed the last one. This one is just for spite and fun. So let's collect our loot and carry on. So one of the things with that is you can take all of them by pressing Q again, but also sometimes you don't have enough space, so you'll have to actually choose which ones you want to get. Also, whenever you finish a quest, you actually have to choose the reward item you get, so don't forget that. Well, you can't really forget that because it doesn't let you go on until you choose it, so make sure to pick the best one and you don't just pick a random one, because then you might be sad. But let's go ahead and turn in this other quest, and that's going to be basically what each quest is going to be like for the first hour and a half of the game. Now, granted, I don't know how long this game is supposed to be. If it's supposed to end up being something that is ongoing, a series, or, you know, kind of keeps progressing as they add more. I don't know. I can't give you that information right now. But thankfully, there's also the PvP world, which I briefly mentioned, but that is something that you can hop back in, challenge random people. But for now, let me show you how to add skills once you get a certain level. Alright, one of the quests down the road, which about 5 quests later, you get to talk to this guy, who is the warrior trainer. I don't know if the ability, if it changes who you have to talk to whenever you're a different character, because there are 3 different locations. There's the warrior hut, the guy for this guy here. There's the mage, which they talk to another girl up there who's in charge of potions. But anyways, once you have skills to learn, you can actually go through here, and by clicking on the red plus sign right by your health bar, you can then choose which skills you want to learn. So I'm going to learn these 2 skills right here. We got one for the 2-handed sword and one for the sword and shield. And so with these, you want to assign abilities that you've learned. You don't want to forget that, because that would kind of make you sad. You go into battle like, oh right, I've got this awesome new ability that I can't use because I forgot to equip it. So make sure to do that. You have plenty of spaces, and it's from 1 to 0 and Alt 1 to 0. And you got a lot of things you can use. So later on, your abilities can get rather lengthy. I mean, you're looking at times. And anyways, we're going to go ahead back into the little forest here and take out some more of these palms to show you the new abilities I've got. And I'll also show you what I was talking about by attacking more than one of them and going on to the other one to kind of show you. Okay, so it's not going to get much more difficult right now because they're just cute, fluffy little palms. But the point is, I'm going to show you that it can be done, and then imagine later on it gets harder. But for now, I'm just going to wreck some cute, cuddly face with my big sword. And while I'm doing that, just know that the player base seems pretty high for this game already. There's a lot of people running around, and it'll be easy to jump into some PvP or add some people for a group later on, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. There's going to be a lot of people around. It seems like it's already pretty popular, at least for the cute cuddly factor, let alone, who knows, later down the line it could get more in depth. So there's always going to be something to do in this game. You'll never really run out of options, or you can always collect something, build up more things here. But one thing you need to do is hit that like button, because this is BakermanBrad, and I'm going to get on out of here. And gamers, get to gaming. Or dancing. Yes. Yeah, dancing there. Get it.